Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jake from TNJ, and welcome back to the Denver Bears franchise. Now, we've spent more time here in season number 3 than any other season. We are still like, 6-7 episodes into this season, and we're not even halfway through the season, and I love it because this is finally the year that we are competing. Now, a couple of changes I have made to this series is that I have removed a lot of the Ys off of the players that are at the MLB level. So you will notice that I also changed Derek Rodriguez over to a relief pitcher full time. You can just see right here, Takahashi has the Y removed from his name. But one move I want to make is moving Corey Dickerson into the starting lineup. He has been excellent in pitch hitting situations. I still want to keep him coming off the bench versus rights because he has been excellent, and most of the pitchers that we face are obviously right-handed. So I want to have him come into the starting lineup versus left-handers, platooning with Will Benson, who's hitting excellent this year. So we face German Marquez as he returns to Denver. Welcome back as the ace for the Denver Bears / the Colorado Rockies for the last, I'd say like 3 years he's been the ace, but been a Rocky for at least 8 years. So that brings up Corey Dickerson, who gets his first start today in left field. He will drive this one deep, and that one is going to be gone. German Marquez leaves one right over the middle. Dickerson doesn't miss for his second home run of the year. That one was absolutely smoked. 453. I'm still waiting on my first 500-foot home run. Dickerson could be a top candidate to get that. So we move on to the top of the second. Atlas Luntich gets the start in this one. As you can just see, he's already at 24 pitches through 2 innings. Here is Renato Nunez, who comes to the plate. He goes to opposite field. Moving over from the Giants to the Angels now. Stays on the West Coast. Jock Peterson also stays on the West Coast. He goes from the Dodgers to the Angels. He flies one deep to center field. Will Benson playing in center today, and that one will be caught. The ball will get in. So that brings up Darryl Cooley, hitting .264 on the year. Ground ball to Fuentes. Thrown to second. Thrown to first in a double play. Fuentes should have won a Golden Glove last season, but remember, Nolan Arenado, who had less putouts and less of a fielding percentage, won it over him. That brings up Charlie Blackmon in the second. He drives one deep. That one is gone. The former Rocky comes back to Denver and gets lit up in the first 2 innings. 2 home runs given up to his former teammates. Charlie Blackmon takes him deep. As we move on to 2 outs here in this inning, Will Benson's hitting .299, third on the team in slugging this year. He gets a low pitch. That one is driven deep. Gone once again. Will Benson, how about the season that he is having? His 8th home run of the season. That makes it 3-0. The Trevor Story trade is finally paying off after 4 full seasons. How about that? After 3 full seasons, I should say. Will Benson is finally starting to hit his stride. So that moves us on to the top of the 4th inning, as that is going to be a hit up the middle. That one will start out this inning with a single, as now there's 2 outs in this inning in the 4th. Jock Peterson up at the plate. He gets his, I guess not second hit, but his second solid contact. That one gets through the middle of the infield. And now we have men on first and second. We decide to actually go early to the bullpen because Atlas Luntich came into this game with lower energy. So I decided to bring in Derek Rodriguez, who is actually pitching very well out of the bullpen. Here's a shot to the right side. Blackmon knocks it down. Rodriguez steps on first, and that crisis is averted. So on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Fuentes up at the plate, who has been hitting pretty well so far this year. He started out slow, but here's a shot down the right field line. That one is going to be a double. As Mike Trout is hurt for this game, so that's why you do not see Trout in. As that brings up Roberto Perez to the plate. He hits one hard to center field. That one will drop into center right in front of Jock Peterson. It looks like we are caught up in a little bit of a run down there, but Fuentes gets back to second base. Derek Rodriguez comes up. We decide to leave him in the game instead of pinch hitting. He hits one deep to left center field. That one is going to get down. It will score one. It will score two. Derek Rodriguez with 45 speed hits one to Triple's alley, but does not get to third. Only 45 speed. But how about this? Helping himself out on the mound, Derek Rodriguez having an excellent season. And the skipper comes out, and that one will be the end of German Marquez's day. What a return to Denver. We absolutely lit him up. That brings in Barria to the plate, and that is going to be a swing and miss by Hampson, and they will get out of this fourth inning, but German Marquez does not have a good return to Denver. Keston Hiura to the plate now in the bottom of the fifth inning. He hits one to right center. That one gets all the way to the wall. It will have extra base hit potential, and it does. It's going to be a 2-out double here in the fifth. Blackman to the plate, who's already hit one deep. He goes to the same spot. This one's driven back to the wall, but this one knocks off of the wall. Almost his second of the game, and that is going to be a 6-0 lead here for this Denver Bear offense. Man, we have been hitting the ball like no other this season. On to the top of the ninth inning. Here is Nick Goody in for maybe a little bit of a 4-run save. I don't know if that is technically a save. I think it's 3 runs in order to get that save. As we get the strikeout on that one, that brings up Willie Castro to the plate. And that one will just be a fly out to Benson, and we will get the victory in this game. Derek Rodriguez will be credited with the win. But how about the offense? I swear, man, we are just a different team than we've seen the last 3 seasons here in season number 4. And Charlie Blackmon, I mean, he is declining, but the way he hits is just incredible. 2 for 4 in this game. He gives us the win. Now, after that 6-2 win, we end up winning the next game 2-1. So we sweep them in a 2-game set at home. Then Chicago comes to our home place and then does end up splitting with us, and including this game right here, a 9-10 loss where we had 14 hits, they had 13 hits. And look at the runs given up in the second half of this game. In the 6th and 7th innings, we gave up 7 runs as they came all the way back to win that game by 1. We did end up winning the next game 11-4, then beating the last place Pittsburgh Pirates 5-1. Man, they have just not done anything in this franchise at all. Ramel Coffer is off to a great start this year. A 1-whip, 1.59 ERA. If he keeps this up, he could be an all-star. I'm not sure if he has the pedigree yet. He doesn't have the namesake to his name. Severino probably will make it over him, but we'll have to see. The All-Star break is still a month and a half away, just about. So I want to just show you guys a preview before the draft. Now, next episode will not be the draft. I want to highlight that last series of the month here versus the Dodgers, a 2-game series. And then we played 2 games versus the Giants as well before the draft. But I want to show you guys some guys on our board here that we're looking at. Patrick Summers is interesting. 24 years old. Yes, I know you should never draft somebody that old. But here's the thing. We have drafted number 2 overall, number 8 overall, and we've always picked in the top 10. Now, the difference is we've always drafted outfielders. We have not been able to get our great starting pitcher. We drafted in season 1, remember, we had a first-round prospect, but he is still, 3-4 years away. He's only 19 years old, but still. I'm looking at Patrick Summers, and he could be a guy that is well-developed. He is a lefty, potential he's going to be, and also, you know what, that 70 overall might end up being like 74 or 75. Who knows? We'll have to see. So I'm very, very intrigued by him. Let me know what you guys think of that. Drafting a 24-year-old pitcher, a lefty at that. Remember, that is a lefty that early in the draft. I'm very on the fence about that because there are other guys that are there in the first round, but they are still years away. This guy can contribute sooner rather than later. So we go on to face the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are the last place team in the entire MLB. Their power ranking has been 30 the past 4 seasons now. As we put out Ramel Coffer to try to get his 5th win of the season to start out his season here with a 1.59 ERA. That is just ridiculous. But start out 5-0. So here he is in the first inning. Here's a ground ball to first base, and this one will be a double play. Fuentes playing at first today. And we get out of that first inning. So that brings up, I believe that was the 4-hitter there, and that's a shot down the line, and that's going to be a throw to second, and right on the money is Will Benson. Excellent throw. I believe that was DJ Hammer who hit that down the right field line, but Benson guns him out. That was the benefit of the Trevor Story trade. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a good arm in the outfield. Benson now has 96 throw power, I believe. So here in the 4th inning, Ramel Coffer in a little bit of a jam, but does get a ground out to Fuentes. We're through 4 now. On to the 5th inning. It's now a 4-0 game. Our offense has been producing as we're only controlling Coffer in this game, as that is a ground out. As we move on to the top of the 6th inning. Here is Coffer at the plate here with bases loaded with 1 out. He hits one deep, and that one is going to be deep enough for a sacrifice fly. So he is helping himself out at the plate as well. It's 5-0 versus the Pirates, the lowly Pirates, I should say. Here is Justin Vargas at the plate, one of our subscriber prospects who was drafted in season 1, number 1 overall. And here he hits a ground ball to short, but a bad throw by C.J. Abrams to second, and that one will be an error. He's actually had quite a few errors when we've been controlling him. So now that moves us to the next batter here with no outs. Here's a shot to left field, and that one will score 2, and that's what happens when you commit errors. You may open up the floodgates a little bit, and a hit to left field drives in 2. That could have been just a normal base hit. So now with 1 out, here's a ground ball up the middle. This time Abrams fields it, throws it, and it's a double play. We will get out of that inning. Nick Goody on the mound once again. I like to go to him quite a bit, especially when we just need runs to be shut down here. And here is Benson diving after that ball, but gets up and throws out the runner at second. Once again, it's Hammer. You've got to be kidding me. You're going to run on Will Benson, who already threw you out earlier in the game? That is a rocket. Look at this. We even had time to stop and wait for him. C.J. Abrams puts on the tag. On to the top of the 9th inning, we decide to control the offense a little bit here. Here's a shot to right center. Hira is addicted to extra base hits. That one's no different. Stand-up double, driving in some insurance runs here in the 9th inning, making it a 6-3 game. His 10th double of the year. So that moves us on to the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's a ground ball to short, hopefully to end it, but this one will be a safe at first. And now that brings up Lolo Sanchez in the 8th spot. He hits one up the middle, and Jordan Hicks getting into a little bit of trouble here. 2 base hits given up with 2 outs. So now that brings up Travis Swaggerty, who comes in to pinch hit, hitting .333 off of the bench this year. He just hits a tapper in front of the mound. Nice, easy throw, and we will get the victory here versus the Pirates, 6-3. You got to love Coffer getting his 5th win of the year. Definitely breaking out. I just want you guys to remember back to when we traded for him. He had a 1.49 whip, 1.59 whip. He was doing terrible. He started out the year 0-12 for the Seattle Mariners. Picked him up, came over. He shaved 20 points off of that whip. So last year he had about a 1.39 whip. This year he's at about a 1 whip, 1.06 to be exact. 5-0. We could have our first time having 2 starters in the All-Star game since season 1. Remember, in season 1, it was Blackman and Trevor Story. This year, we could have, for the first time, pitchers in the All-Star game. It's been Jose Iglesias who made our All-Star team for us the last 2 seasons, but he is still a free agent. But looking at the rest of our bullpen, we are one of the best in the league. Stevenson, 109 whip. Jordan Hicks is doing great. Nick Goody and Derek Rodriguez, both doing excellent. I just love what I'm seeing from this squad. I think this bullpen has the potential to be probably the strongest part of this team. That Jordan Hicks signing has turned out to be one of the best signings that we've had in this series. I think that he and Jesse Winker are definitely 1 and 2. So now we move on to that San Francisco series, and we decide to quick manage this one, and it looks like Denver will get the victory here, 3-1. 8 hits for us, 3 hits for San Francisco. One thing I can say is that we can finally get our pitchers some backing with the offense, and we actually go on to win 8 straight games. Wow. Look at this. We have moved up in the standings. The Dodgers are now a half game back after this 8-game win streak. 8-2 in our last 10, but now it's time for a different type of series. The Dodgers have been the best team in this franchise so far. They won the World Series last year. They have reloaded. They re-signed Cody Bellinger. I did not expect him to go back to the Dodgers after he decided to move on from our offer, $310 million. He decided to accept the Dodgers offer instead. I'm not sure why, but he took their offer, decided to stay in LA, I guess to win more rings. But we were the only offer on the table for him when we did offer him that contract. I was very surprised by that. They also signed Tyler Glasnow in the offseason, and that's who we will go up against next episode on the road. We stay on the West Coast as well. We go to LA, then we go to San Francisco, so that will be a whole lot of fun. We will end the month of May, then the following episode will be the draft, so you don't want to miss that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think of our potential all-star Ramel Coffer and the rest of our squad. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tinted. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.